Hello everyone, very good evening to my viewers and the subscribers. Welcome to my channel Hari PS Videos. Let's discuss the next topic and the very important topic in our chapter acids, bases and salts. Acid, bases and salts. Let's discuss pH scale. pH scale. What is this pH scale? As we already discussed, strong acids, weak acids, strong bases, weak bases, right? And also we discussed examples for strong acids, strong bases, weak acids, and weak bases. How we can identify, how we can classify the acids are strong acids, weak acids, or the bases are strong bases or the weak bases, right? So, based on the strength. So, today our topic is strength of acids and bases. Strength of acids and bases. So, the most important topic in our chapter is about pH scale. pH scale. What is this pH scale? Right? So, water, H2O, we know. So, when the water dissociate, it gives us H plus and OH minus ions, hydrogen ions and OH minus ions. So, according to Arrhenius acid-base theory, those substances release H plus ions in the water, we can called acids. Those substances which release OH minus ions, we called bases. So the substance contain H plus ions and the OH minus ions are classified as acids and bases. So in a pure water, the concentration of hydrogen ions, H plus ions and OH minus ions are equal. So we can say to be water is a neutral substance. Water is a neutral substance. Water is a neutral substance, or we can call neutral in nature. Neutral in nature, right? So let us discuss acids. As we know, acids produces H plus ions, hydrogen ions, hydrogen ion. So when acid is added to water, then the concentration of H plus ions will be increased. When an acid is dissolved or when acid is added to the water, the concentration of hydrogen ions increases in the water. So the solutions of acid forms, the solutions of acid thus are having more hydrogen ions, and less hydroxide ions. So, in other words, acidic solutions contain excess of H plus ions. Acidic substances contain excess of OH plus ion, less OH minus ions. For example, HCl, hydrochloric acid. when this hydrochloric acid is added to the water, what will happen? H3O plus ions are formed and OH minus already present in the water. So due to adding this HCl, hydrochloric acid, the number of H plus ions in a water increases. Before, water consists of equal number of H plus and OH minus ions, hydrogen ions and OH minus hydroxide ions, OH minus ions. By adding acid, this number of hydrogen ions are increases. So what happened? Generally, OH minus ion number will be reduces. Similarly, when we add any base, like sodium hydroxide to the water, OH minus ions are increases, then hydrogen ions number will be decreases. So in this way, we can classify the substance. Can classify the substances as acidic nature or the basic in nature. So water, which is a neutral in nature, consists of equal hydrogen ions and OH minus ions. When we add acid, as we know, according to Arrhenius acid-base theory, acids generally releases H plus ions when they are dissolved in water. So, concentration or number of hydrogen ions will be more than the OH minus ions. When we add the base to the water, hydroxide ions or the concentration of OH minus ions or hydroxide ions will be increases. So hydrogen ions will be reduced. So what will happen? The strength of acids or the base depends on the number of hydrogen ions present in it or the number of OH minus ions present in the solution. So the basic substances have excess of hydroxide ions. So the basic solution have, here one most important thing is acids contain H plus and OH minus ions. Similarly, bases, solutions of acids, solutions of bases. Solutions of acids, solutions of bases contain H plus and OH minus ions. So, in case of acidic solution, this H plus ions is more, OH ions are less. In case of bases, OH minus ions are more, then H plus ions are less. Ions are less. So, depending upon the number of H plus ions, number of OH minus ions, then we can classify and we can know the concentration, of acids and bases. But generally the concentration of either acid or base depends on H plus ions, hydrogen ions. So the concentration of acid or the base depends. The concentration of acid or the base depends on the hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions. From the above discussion, whatever we discussed, right? Both acidic solutions as well the basic solutions contain hydrogen ions. Both acidic solutions and basic solutions contain H plus ions, hydrogen ions. So, to determine this, to understand the concentration of basic solutions or the acidic solution in the year of 1909, in the year of 1909, Sorensen, a scientist, derived a scale. Sorensen derived a scale to know the concentration or to know the strength of either acid or base. To know the strength of either acid or base, acid or basic solution. So, to know the strength of acids or the bases, in 1909, Sorensen devised or discovered or made a scale to know the strength of acids and bases. That scale we can called as pH scale. That scale we can called pH scale. So the pH of solution of that means pH scale, pH scale. So the pH scale was invented by the Sorensen to know the strength, of acids or the bases. pH scale, that means it represents concentration. It represents concentration of H plus ions. Here P means potential. P means potential. That means strength. Potential of hydrogen. Potential of hydrogen ions, or strength of the hydrogen ions. In German, pH means, in German, pH means, potens is a German word. Potens is a German word that means strength or power. That means strength or power. Strength or power. So invented by a scientist Sorensen. Invented by a scientist Sorensen. So here have one formula. pH is equal to minus log H plus. pH is equal to minus log H plus. So here this bracket represents concentration. This bracket represents concentration of H plus. Log means logarithms. So in intermediate you have many problems about this pH scale. About this pH, how to we can calculate, right? Identify, pH is identified to know the nature of the substance, to determine the strength of acids and bases. Okay, next we will discuss more about pH. Based on the pH value, we can classify the substances like acids and bases. They are strong acids or weak acids, strong bases or weak bases, or they have neutral in nature or not. So, with the help of the pH scale, we can identify the strength of acids or the bases.